voices will want, and I'm so excited to be here today. Senior leadership this week have been looking at what well-being is and how we manage that and how we understand how incredible we are, and how we look at things that go on in our lives and inside of our heads. Today I've been asked to talk about bubbles. Yep, you're just as confused as I am. I don't know if it's this kind of bubble, these kind of bubbles, but I think they're pretty awesome anyway. But what I've done, I've drawn some other pictures of some other kind of bubbles that I've been thinking about over the last while that impact us a lot. Okay, so I think that we have three types of bubbles, okay? The first one is our bubble of people, okay? Second one is our bubble of situations and things that go on in our life. And the third bubble is the bubble of thoughts that we have, okay? So I've done some pictures of some of the things that I think go on in our lives, okay? The first thing that we're going to look at is our people bubble, okay? So this is you or me in the middle of this bubble, okay? And this week, you're the priority, you're the most important person. And it's so important that we recognise that around us, we have lots of different people. You'll probably be thinking about the people who are really close to you, and then you've got other people who are not so close to you, but also we have those people who are positive, okay? The people who make us feel good about ourselves, the people who will encourage us to be the best version of ourselves, the people who will always make sure that we're okay. They'll check in to make sure that we're feeling okay and that we're coping okay. But then we have these negative people as well. And these people are in everybody's life. I have them in my life. I'm sure you'll have them in your life too. And they make us feel a little bit rubbish about ourselves. They make us feel that maybe we're wrong, or maybe we're bad at something, or maybe we're just not good. Maybe we're just not a nice person. And these people are not very helpful. They'll say things that aren't very helpful. They'll say things that are mean. They'll make us question ourselves and who we are. And these people, they impact us. They impact our heads, they impact the way we think about ourselves, the way we feel about ourselves, and they impact how we behave. And what's really important in our lives is that we have more positive people than negative people. Because when we're surrounded by negative people, well, one, we can become a negative person, or two, we can actually believe that any of the positive things that people say are wrong. That we actually can believe everything that these negative people say about us. So we need to recognise these people in our lives, both the positive and the negative, okay? We need to recognise the impact that these negative people have on us. We need to recognise whenever we need to walk away from a friendship, or when we need to walk away from people who we're maybe in a relationship with, or maybe we're best friends with, or people who sit beside us in class. And we need to recognise that and know, okay, well, are they influencing me to be the best person that I can be? Or are they maybe making me feel a bit rubbish about myself? And that's a massive step to make whenever we are saying, okay, well, I care about myself more than this friendship, if it is something that is a negative friendship. But we also need to recognise the positive people in our life. We need to recognise that they can make us become and believe that we can become something incredible. In school, we want to be the people that encourage you to be the best version of yourself, that encourage you to see your potential and to see how incredible you are. On Monday, I know you were talking about an amazing me, and that's so important that you recognise that you do have good qualities, but these negative people, well, they can tear that down and they can strip that away from you. And we don't want to let that happen to you within school or within your lives, okay? So be aware of the people who are around us. Be aware of their impact. Be aware of how they're making you feel and what they're making you think about yourself, okay? The second thing that we're going to look at is the situations that we are in, okay? So I didn't really know how to draw a situation, so I just did a squiggle on a page, but you'll understand what I'm talking about, okay? We all have situations that make us feel good about ourselves. We all have situations that we enjoy, that we love being a part of. Doing these videos, not overly what I enjoy, because it takes me out of my comfort zone, okay? But what I do enjoy is being a part of your life, is being an influencer for you, for the positive, okay? So I will take myself out of my comfort zone. I will do something that is not normal to me because I love what I do, okay? And we will all have situations that make us feel positive. But we will know those places, the situations, the groups of people we hang around with, that actually the things that they're doing aren't really very positive, okay? We will all know that we have situations that we don't enjoy, that we don't like, that make us feel uncomfortable, that maybe go against the things that we believe. And what we need to do as people is be aware of that, is to recognise that and say, do you know what? I'm not going to do that because I don't believe in that. I don't believe that what we're doing in whatever situation you find yourself is positive for my life. And life is too short. Life is too short to waste. And we as a school don't want you to waste any of your time getting involved with stuff that doesn't encourage you to be the best version of yourself. So we want you to be aware of the good situations that you're in, the good friendship groups, the good places that you can go to be positive, okay? We want you to be aware of that, and we want you to recognise those, but also we want you to be courageous enough to stand up to the situations that maybe aren't so positive and maybe aren't so good for you to be involved with, okay? Have your own situations that you know are good and you know are positive and you know encourage you, but you will also have those situations that you know are not good for you, that you know are impacting you negatively, and you know are maybe impacting other people in your home, your brothers and sisters, those who look after you. You know that there are situations that you're involved with that are impacting negatively, and we want you to note those and to kind of recognise those and do something about it, okay? The third thing that we're going to look at, the third bubble that we're going to look at, is our thoughts, okay? We will all have positive thoughts, and they're great. Some days I waking up and I'm like, I am nailing life. Absolutely love what I do, so passionate and so motivated to be the best person that I can be, to encourage you guys at school, or to be nice to my husband, or all of those kind of things. And then there's other days, and to be totally honest, I kind of just want to go back to bed again. And it's not something that you would really hear people talk about that much, but what we want to do in this week is be honest, is be transparent and say, do you know what? Life is really hard sometimes. Sometimes I don't even want to talk about the things that are going on in my head because I feel like people will judge me, or maybe they'll think that I'm a bad person or a rubbish person at my job. But what we need to recognise in this week is that well-being, how well our head is vital to how we live. The thoughts that we're having, when we have those negative thoughts and then we let them win, and then the next day we let them win again, and then we let them win again, we are going to become a negative person, and we are going to find ourselves in the middle of a negative cycle that is hard to get out of, really hard. You know the days when you feel great and you could feel like you could conquer the world, but you also know those days when you wake up and you kind of feel like the world is pressing you down again. And those days are really hard, they are, and to find a positive thought within those days, trust me, I understand that is so hard, but if we don't do that, if we don't surround ourselves with people who can help us do that, well then we will be stuck in a negative cycle like a hamster going round and round and round, running and running and running and not going anywhere. And what we want to do this week is show you a little example of how to do that, okay? So one of the things I love to do is to spider diagram all the things that are going on in my head, okay? Generally I need about 6 pages, so you'll probably be fine with one. But what I do then is in the middle of my page, I say what is going on in my head, okay? Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, doesn't matter. I just get it out of my head, because when it is in my head, well then I become ineffective, okay? When I keep all of those thoughts, positive and negative, all locked in my head, well then I can't do the things that I'm meant to do best. I can't do them well. But once I get them out of my head, well, although the problem hasn't been solved, what it has done, it has almost lifted something that I've been carrying around unnecessarily and shown me it on a page, okay? So I will put down the positive things, the negative things, and I love colour, so as you can see from our lovely pictures in our kitchen, I love colour. But what's really important is that you colour code the things, so you're like, okay, what is positive? Let me colour that in yellow. What is negative? Let me colour that in red. And we deal with the negative things one at a time. You don't have to deal with it all at the same time, but getting it out of your head, getting it out of carrying it when you don't need to, is something that is completely amazing. Honestly, I call this my bubble. And it is really simple, and it's not hard, and it's not scientific or even really therapeutic. What it is a way to get stuff out of your head, okay? And at school, that's what we want to encourage you to do this week. I'm going to show you why we're doing this. Okay? I'm going to take a wee second and just explain why we're doing this, why we're focusing on mental health, why we're focusing on well-being, and why we're talking about bubbles, okay? So in front of me, I have 2 glasses. I have 2 tea bags, okay? And I have some water that will represent the positive people in our life, okay? And some water that will represent the negative people in our life, okay? So positive, negative, all right? What we're going to do, I'm going to pour the negative into this cup, okay? Now, when we surround ourselves with negative people, we can be filled up, just like this cup, okay? Nothing's really happened to the tea bag though. It's kind of just sitting there, floating at the top. Okay, this is the negative people in our life. Then we have the positive, okay, so I'm going to pour this into this cup, okay, and actually before it's even half full, we can see that something's happening to the water, something's happening to the tea bag, okay. We can see that whenever we fill ourselves with positive people, well then we become something. We become a cup of tea, not literally become a cup of tea, but actually we become what we're meant to become. But when we fill ourselves with negative people and negative things, well, we don't really do anything. That tea bag's just floating in there. And to be honest, I don't really fancy drinking it. And we want to encourage you this week to recognise the negative people in your life. Recognise that they don't really make you do anything positive, that they don't fulfill you, that they don't encourage you to be the best version of yourself, okay? But what we want to become is like this cup of tea, okay? We want to become the best people that we can be, so that we can succeed and become what we're meant to become. I'm going to go and enjoy this cup of tea, and I hope that you have taken something positive from today about how we can help you get all of those thoughts, those situations, those people onto something else so that you can kind of manage it better. And we can become like this cup of tea, fulfilled and enjoyed. Mr. Wilmot, can I have some biscuits?